back, YouTubers. Father and Son's Training Room, Mr. Tommy.
Cody.
We're back today. Just put up the video of me painting the rocks. Now we're going to start painting the layout. This video we're going to do, we're going to show you how to mix it and how to apply it. And remember, this is my first time, his first time, and hopefully it turns out good. And hope you can take lessons from us if we mess up, and we can explain how to fix it or whatever it is we do. But we hope y'all enjoy. We're going to bring you to the table and we'll get started. Be right back. Welcome back to the table, everybody. What we have here is our earth undercoat. This is 4 ounces. And I went ahead and I marked where the top of the paint was in the bottle. And I'm going to do about half the mix. So about where that little line is. It says use 1 cup of water. I'm going to use a half a cup. We're going to do half right now. I don't feel like I need to mix a whole batch and then not be able to have time to get over here to the other side of the table. So we're going to do half for now. So it says in instructions, 1 cup to 1 full bottle. Use the entire bottle. If you start early in the morning, you feel like you can finish all in one day, that's great. Try to see how much is left. Well, we're about halfway. Probably a little bit more. I'm going to take the top off. I can see it better looking on the inside. Well, we got a good ways to go. If you got a measuring cup, this probably make it a lot easier. That's about half, so that's as far as we're going to go with that. I got a little bit on the sides here. Just take my brush and clean it off. Waste not, want not. It says stir it up real good. It's a weird color. Kind of greenish with brown. You'd have to have a lot bigger mixing bowl to do this with. Make sure I get it mixed real good. Check the camera. And what we'll do is we'll zoom in up here. Hopefully that ain't too blurry. I used that one to mix, but I'm afraid I got it real soaking wet, so I'm gonna get another one. I'm just gonna dab it. And you know, if you got paint run from your other, when you're painting the rocks, that's fine. You don't cover all that up with ballast and stuff. It says not to paint the rock, but you're probably going to get on some of the rocks. There ain't nothing you can do about that. Just try to be careful with it. A good time to find any of your little strings, stuff laying or floating around from gluing and all that. We'll do the small section, then we'll go into a time lapse. It says make sure to get it down in the cracks and crevices real good. handle sticking out of there is dangerous. I'm afraid I'm going to knock it over. There's where the road will come in. Just kind of do the outline of where the flat section is. If I need to come back, I'll add more. I'm not going to use the whole 4 ounces if I can get away with it. If I can't, then I'll come back and buy some more. But hopefully I won't have to. Set this down here, be out of y'all's way. Can't, it says spread it, okay, so I'm spreading, but then you got your nooks and crannies, it says to dab it in there. Just go around the edge of the rock here. And I'm just barely dabbing it in there, and it picks up a lot of water, so it works out pretty good. Goes a long way. I'm just going to get close to the inside of the creek bed here. I'm not going to go all the way yet. Just kind of give y'all an idea of what it looks like right here. We'll get you closer to the canvas in a second. Then we'll go into a time lapse and we'll just work. And remember, when you put your ballast on, that ballast is actually going to go on top of your rocks. So you'll notice there's a little bit of an, I notice it don't matter if it's spackle or if it's even the hydrocoil. Don't pick up the hydrocoil or the spackle, don't really pick up the rock paint real good. But just remember, the top of it's going to be covered anyway because of natural erosion. Your dirt washes down on top of the rock, so you know it's going to be okay. And don't worry about getting it on your road because the road's going to be covered in ballast and stuff too. So this is a dirt road, gravel road. Some people call it a gravel road. Here in Georgia, it stays dirt most of the time, so they just call it dirt roads around here. Gravel generally gone pretty quick after they freshen it up. I imagine you could probably come back for a second coat, darken it up even more, or find spots you want to be darker than others. But we still got a lot of work, but we hope that this is all cosmetic now. The actual structure of the layout is great, fun to build. Find some headaches, but other than that, it's been fun. we've got a lot of trains over the last couple of years that we're going to eventually have on the layout working and going, and we'll talk about them once we get to that point.
A few of them are still broken to this day.
Yeah, well, we found some that were real cheap or free or found or purchased real cheap.
Yeah.
Went to a yard sale the other day. Guy had 3 boxes of old junk laying there. I didn't go through them all. He told me 30. I said, I'll give you 20. He said, all right. I didn't think there was nothing in there. I got home, found a couple of DCC engines in it. Well, they're not quite operational. They're great shape, but they've been put up and all that, and I got to work on them, make them, the contacts work better and everything. But hopefully we'll get it up and running soon. So see, it ain't. I come here and work on layout, and then sometimes I work on engines. But while I'm here, let's talk about the ballast on the track right quick. Now in the book, ballast is probably one of the last things you'll do. And I should have probably done it last, but I've seen other people do it first, then work around the ballast. But that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to start painting down here at the ballast here for a quick second. We're going to look how it looks and see if I was wrong. I don't see why you can't ballast first, but I understand why not. Because I'm finding where I've been working on these rocks and stuff, I'm getting little pieces of ballast, hydrocoil, little scrap pieces here and there. I'm constantly having to try to pick out. I have a little hand shop vac, but it don't pick up everything. So I'm gonna try to brush it out and clean it up good. But we're gonna come right quick to the corner right here at this port, and we'll paint around the ballast and see how it works. We'll pause the video. Be right back. Alright, so here we are right here at this port right here, and you can see I got my ballast right there on the edge. So yes, there's a couple loose pieces in there I see. But remember now, when I bring in the grass and everything, I'm bringing it right up to the edge of the ballast here. So all I want to do is just get right on the edge, and then see I got a little bit of ballast on my brush. Well, we don't want that everywhere, so I got a newspaper laying right behind me, and just wipe it off, get it fresh. I want to work off the camera and make sure I'm still in the camera here. See, there's a piece of. Now I already had and went and test cut my tunnel ports. I've already laid them in there, made sure they all fit. Trains could pass through, and done all that. Very important that you do that before you get too much further ahead. I probably should have talked about that, but every one of these, you know, where we put the plaster, you know, you come back and you test fit your port, and if it don't fit, you got to cut it out, just wherever it needs to be notched out. Make sure it's center and level. Don't want your port sitting like this or like that or anything. So that's just part of it. Spread if you can. If you can't, dab. See right there, don't want to go in there, just dab it. And if you can spread it, spread it. What it's going to do when you put your ballast on, you're not going to see that white. When that turf hits it, it's funny how I call it sometimes turf, sometimes ballast. It's both. But I know ballast on the railroad is this, gravel, and then grass is turf. But I don't know, I say it backwards sometimes, I'm sorry. But Then we'll come into the city a little bit. Right there's my road. I'm not exactly sure how big the city's going to be over here. So, you know, I'm going to save a little bit. That's why I'm not going to do the entire thing. Nearest hobby store is an hour or so drive from here. And I don't feel like having to jump in the truck and drive all the way down there. And I usually work Monday through Friday. I ain't got time to go then. Go ahead and get on inside the port a little bit. And you notice in the last video, whenever I started the black wash, I thought that the first batch was a little dark, and it was, in my opinion. So I put a little bit more water in. I think that turned out even better, just putting a little bit more water in. And then some of them I think is a little light. I might just come back and hit a little bit more on it just to darken it up some more. Now I'm starting to get off the camera a little bit, so what I'll do, bring the camera back just a little bit so you can see. Cameraman's trying to grab the camera, but I'm in his way, and it's a little tough sometimes. Well, there you have it. Tunnel 4 is going to sit right in there. And here's that rock I was talking about that at first I thought was too dark. Actually turned out pretty light, and that's darker on the camera than it is here in the room. Nice and smooth. I like how you got different tones of colors and cracks. And then once we get the airbrush going, we'll come back and just spray in, darken them crevices up. I might even come back with a little whitewash and just grab those corners and sharp corners to make it pop out like the sun shining on it. Kind of let you see back there. It's still, well, it's a little blurry, but there's the top. Bring it in. See that? So we'll set the camera up here on the corner over here and put it in time lapse and be right back. Okay, there you have it. Got the ground turf down. It's been a few hours now. Took a little break and had a little bite to eat. Afterthoughts. Afterthoughts. Yes. Wait to do your ballast last. That's a mistake we made. We gotta live with it. We'll deal with it and we'll make it right. But I do think, my personal opinion, figure out where you want your rocks. Paint, paint the whole surface where you want the big rocks and stuff, but I think it should be painted before you put some of the rocks in, because in the river itself, the little creek bed, hard to get in them little nicks and crannies with the sponge, and I'm going to go back and touch it up with a little paintbrush, try to get up in the nooks and crannies, because that brown will get on your rocks, so then you'll have to come back and backwash your rocks again. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments you like. And heck, hit the notification button, because you never know when we're going to send a video. We've done a lot of work in the last couple of weeks, but it might be another month before I get to work on it again. Never know what happens. But until then, y'all keep model railroading. Bye-bye.